Now I know what you might be picturing. Love. That thunderbolt, right? The total loss of control.
Yeah, that feeling like you've been hit by a cosmic 2x4 of emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what if that's only like half the story?
Mm-hmm.
What if beneath all that, intense feeling, there's a fundamental choice we make, like day in and day out?
Well, what's fascinating here is while those initial feelings are undeniably powerful, they're huge.
Sure.
This deep dive explores the idea that, well, enduring love isn't just about being swept away.
Okay.
We're looking at an article from Psychology Today. It's called Love Isn't Just a Feeling, It's a Choice.
Right. By John Kim. He's a licensed therapist.
That's the one. And it's been recently updated, seems quite current. It suggests that building a lasting connection requires us to actively choose to love someone.
Even after the fireworks fade.
Especially then, perhaps.
Yeah.
Long after those initial sparks might have, settled down.
Okay, exactly. So our mission here is to really dig into this concept, love as a choice.
Mm-hmm.
We want to understand what that looks like, when the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, practically speaking.
And why this perspective could be a game changer for anyone wanting stronger relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack this right away then. This idea that love is an active decision we make.
Yeah, the article hits this point head on. There's a quote. Choosing to love someone is an active decision we make, not just some magical thing that happens to us.
Not just magic. That's a big shift.
It is. It's subtle but significant, right? Instead of just waiting for a feeling to wash over us.
You're passive.
Right. This puts us in the driver's seat. It suggests we actually have agency in cultivating and sustaining love.
And it uses this great image, thinking of love like a journey. Or almost like tending a garden.
Oh, yeah, the garden analogy.
You can't just wish for beautiful flowers. You've got to, put in the work.
Right. Precisely. The article really emphasizes that the commitment you show over time, that's what allows love to deepen and mature. Just like, consistent watering and care help a garden flourish.
Mm-hmm.
That ongoing investment in a relationship yields richer, more meaningful results. In the long run.
So it's not a destination.
No, it's something you actively cultivate. Day by day, really.
Now, okay, let's be real. Nobody's pretending it's a walk in the park all the time, are they?
Definitely not.
The article is pretty upfront about that. It says loving someone isn't always easy.
Absolutely. And I think that's important. The author offers a really realistic view, acknowledging that the intensity of our emotions in a relationship will, naturally ebb and flow.
Right. Sometimes it feels easy. Other times.
It requires real effort, real conscious effort. This, as the article puts it, is kind of the nature of the beast.
The nature of the beast, huh?
Yeah. So the key takeaway there is that the choice to love, it needs to be a constant. Even when those initial powerful feelings aren't quite as strong.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. The article touches on these unexpected benefits. Benefits that come from consciously choosing to stick with love, even when things get a bit bumpy.
Right.
It mentions hitting notes in life that you could never reach on your own. What does that even look like?
Well, if we think about that, it's maybe about how choosing to navigate life's challenges with someone, that process can unlock a unique kind of growth.
Okay. Like how?
So, for example, maybe you're facing a tough career decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your partner offers a perspective you just hadn't considered. By actively choosing to listen, to support each other through that, you might arrive at a better outcome together than you would have individually. And that shared experience, overcoming something together.
It strengthens the bond.
Exactly. And it can reveal new strengths in yourselves and in the relationship itself.
But let's be honest, that choosing love part,
Yeah,
the article calls it really hard work.
it does.
What kind of heavy lifting are we actually talking about here?
Yeah, that raises a crucial point, doesn't it? The practical side. So the article highlights elements like constant self-reflection.
Okay, looking inward.
Right. And dissolving our ego.
Oof. That sounds tough.
It can be. And breaking free of deep-rooted patterns.
Okay, so it's not just about the other person.
Not at all. It's also turning that lens inward, examining your own contributions to the relationship dynamics.
So dissolving our ego. What would that mean? Like in an argument?
Well, it might mean consciously setting aside your need to be right.
Yeah.
So you can actually understand your partner's perspective, truly understand it.
It's like the article says, it can be a daily choice, and sometimes even a fight with our old selves. That really clicks for me.
Right, because we all have those ingrained habits or those knee-jerk reactions.
Oh, yeah.
That aren't always helpful in a relationship.
Definitely not.
So exactly, choosing love often involves consciously challenging those automatic responses.
Like if you tend to shut down during conflict.
Precisely. Maybe you tend to do that, but you actively choose, this time, to stay present, to communicate.
Even if it feels uncomfortable.
Especially then, sometimes. It's about recognizing those patterns and making a deliberate effort to respond in a way that nurtures the connection.
Okay. And the payoff for all this hard work, it isn't just individual bliss, is it?
No, not just that.
The article talks about building something greater than just the two of you. What's the greater thing they're hinting at?
I think that speaks to the idea of creating like a shared history, a unique bond that's really more than just the sum of two individuals.
Like a third entity almost.
Sort of. It's about building a foundation, trust, shared memories, a deep understanding that provides a sense of belonging and security you probably couldn't achieve just on your own.
So this greater thing is the relationship itself.
Yeah, the unique entity that your relationship becomes through that shared effort and choice.
So even though it sounds like a lot of effort,
Yeah.
and it is effort,
Yeah.
it is. The article really emphasizes that the difficulty of loving someone is worth it. Why?
Yeah.
Because it allows you to evolve, to become the best version of yourself.
Precisely. It links the work directly to personal growth.
How so?
Well, the challenge is inherent in choosing to love someone, in navigating a shared life. They act as catalysts.
No, catalyst for growth.
Yeah. By working through disagreements, supporting each other's vulnerabilities, continuously choosing connection, you learn more about yourself, about your partner, and about your capacity for things like empathy and understanding. It stretches you.
Okay, so it's not all high-minded concepts then? The article gets down to the everyday stuff too.
It does, yeah.
The little things you do every single day to nurture that connection.
Yeah.
Forget the grand gestures for a minute.
Right, not just the big holidays or anniversaries.
What are the essential daily choices? The things that keep the love engine running?
Well, the article really underscores that while, sure, big romantic gestures are nice.
Who doesn't like those?
Right. But the real strength of a relationship lies in the consistency of the smaller daily actions.
Like what? What are the fundamentals?
Okay, so they highlight things like open and honest communication.
Really listening, sharing authentically.
Exactly. And the willingness to be vulnerable and share your true thoughts and feelings.
That takes courage.
It does. Also, taking responsibility for your own emotions and actions.
Own your stuff.
Yep. And actively seeing the relationship as its own living, breathing entity that requires care from both of you.
It's like you have to actively fan the flames.
That's a great way to put it.
With those small acts of kindness, the affection, the effort to keep that spark alive. Like that imagery.
Me too.
It's not a one-time bonfire. It's like tending a pilot light. You got to keep it going.
Exactly. Long-term love isn't self-sustaining. It needs that ongoing attention and care. Those small, consistent actions, a thoughtful text, a listening ear, just a shared laugh.
The little things.
They're what demonstrate your continued choice to love and nurture the connection day after day over time.
And the article wraps up by saying that building a lasting relationship, it isn't about this fairy tale quest, right?
Right.
Finding the perfect partner who magically completes you. It's something much more grounded, more proactive.
Yes. The conclusion really brings it all together, I think. It's about the daily commitment.
To what?
To show up, be vulnerable, and do the work with the person you've chosen.
Okay, so the focus shifts.
Yeah, it shifts from this idealized notion of a soulmate.
That just appears.
Right, to the active, ongoing effort you invest in building a strong, fulfilling partnership with another, imperfect human being.
Because we're all imperfect.
Exactly.
Okay, so to recap the big ideas then.
Yeah.
Communication.
Essential. Open and honest.
Trust, built through consistent actions, not just words.
Yeah, showing up.
The personal growth that happens within a loving partnership.
Which can be pretty profound.
And remembering to nurture the relationship itself like it's a shared project.
That third entity idea again.
And the core of it all. Love is a daily choice.
That's the headline.
A choice that asks for commitment to both your own growth and your partner's growth.
All right.
For a love that goes deeper and actually lasts longer.
That's a really clear distillation, I think, of the article's main points. It really reframes love, doesn't it? Not just as a feeling that happens to us, but as an active, continuous process of choosing to connect and invest in another person.
So this deep dive into that Psychology Today article, wow, it really makes you rethink that classic, purely emotional view of love.
It definitely challenges it.
It puts a spotlight right on the power of our daily decisions in building those strong, enduring relationships.
Absolutely. And, understanding love as a choice, it can be incredibly empowering.
How so?
Well, it suggests that we have more influence over the quality and the longevity of our relationships than maybe we thought.
Right. We're not just victims of fleeting feelings.
Exactly. It shifts the focus from passively waiting for the right person to actively engaging in the process of building a loving connection with the person we're actually with.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Okay, so here's something for you, our listener, to think about. Now that you've explored this idea of love as a choice, what small, deliberate action could you take today to nurture a meaningful connection in your life?